Yes.
Do you think Nongu is competing with Slee on any level?
I don't.
Do you think Slee is competing with Nongu on any
Yes,
level?
100%. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Know It All podcast with your favorite popular culture nerds, Fezzy and
And Charlie.
Thank you again for coming back to us. We are
Yes,
so
guys.
thrilled to have you here. Oh my God, we are so thrilled at the numbers. We are pleasantly surprised.
Thank you.
But we'd also like you to tell us what you're feeling,
Yes.
what you're thinking, what you're watching, what you'd like us to watch.
Please.
We just want to have a conversation. We want to start a dialogue.
We just want to talk.
We just want to talk. Okay, so let's get these engagement numbers up. Okay, let's engage with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 35 subscribers now. Amazing. It's
Right?
actually a record that we've broken. Really prolific black women over here.
Yes.
Just trying to show young girls at home that they can do this. But guys, we can get to 40.
We can.
We can get 5 of you right now.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed,
Yeah, you can
then
do
you
it.
know, what are you doing
And
with
then
your
another
little
10,
platform?
and then another,
Just think about
and
it. And then next thing you know, it's 100 subscribers.
And then it's 10,000.
And then it's 1 million.
So you can help us get there. Today we are doing our usual recap of the Real Housewives of Durban. We have been in the world being the woman that we are, and so life hasn't allowed us to meet, so we are so thrilled. But it means that you're getting a double recap. You're getting episode 9 and episode 10 from us today.
Getting a hamba. You're getting a 10 kg of rice. You're getting a 10 kg of mealie meal.
Exactly.
There's a 5 kg of free coffee.
Exactly.
You know, there might be some crown oil.
Exactly.
You know, around 2 liters. I'm just saying.
Who knows? Who knows, really? Can we jump into it?
Let's do it. Episode 9.
Episode 9. Episode 9.
Which was years ago at this point.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. But, you know, we had to sort out employment.
Yeah. So we can.
So if more of you subscribe, then
Yeah.
we don't need to do this
Exactly.
other thing.
Because then how do we get such beautiful hairstyles? Right?
Yeah. That's just
And
from
such
35
beautiful
subscribers.
nails. This is a really good. You look great, by the way.
Thanks.
I don't think I said it enough, and I don't think I said it off camera.
Thanks.
And I'm saying it now on
and
camera.
we have decided that off-camera conversations just
Don't
exist. You know what I mean?
exactly, which is something that Durban Housewives could use. That's a
Yes.
principle that they
That is
could
very useful
They could really
information for
use
them.
for their production purposes. Shall we dive right in?
Yes. Okay. So,
Episode 9.
episode 9. Our first scene is with Usli no Mabusi. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
Thoughts and feelings is that, well, the first. Oh, no. I'm confusing myself in my own notes.
Yeah.
Guys.
Are you ready?
It's the thing is, I love this show, but I want to say so many nice things about it.
Okay. And then?
But truthfully,
Yes.
it's difficult because, number one, that's scene introduction, right? And that's going to be when you can talk about the content. But like the scene introduction, which is, you know, people in their confessional saying, I'm meeting Smang Mang for this reason and whatnot. It's so redundant.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
let's do more of a setup. Like, okay, now we are meeting so we can talk about the last thing that happened. Lie to me a little bit. Like, be like, oh, I'm organizing my spice cabinet.
I'm just doing
You know?
drinks.
And I thought, because you know what I actually appreciate about Sarisha is that she said she was making samosas.
Yes.
Like, that was believable. But she tried to to give us something organic.
I guess.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
the
not all.
entire...
That's not all. I just want to give you room because I could go on a full
Okay,
rant.
sure. I have accepted that South African production wants to do us like that. So I'm more at
Okay.
peace than you are.
I guess.
Sorry, I just want to say that, like, this is unrelated to that scene particularly,
Okay.
but Sarisha's tagline,
Which
"I'm
is-
here
yes.
for every sunrise, but I can meet you in the shade," is
Yes.
such a banger.
It is.
We
It really is.
didn't give that the
We did
attention
not give
it
that
deserved.
because it was definitely lost in a crowd of bad ones.
yes,
Like,
yes, and she
Someone
generally
has to
does
be a
really good
housewife.
taglines.
She does.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna think about it too much, but you know, in what ways is she here for every sunrise? Is she an early riser? Is she walking the dogs? But see, I can let that go because at the end of the day, that's a banger. That's a hit.
It is a banger.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we find out that Mabusi was triggered by the experience that she had with Jojo. Mm-hmm. She tells us that Joe brought her back into that place where she was in season 2. Yes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't believe me?
No.
So she's feeling a bit triggered.
Yeah.
She's remorseful, obviously, about the
Yes.
comment that she made,
Mm-hmm.
in which she called Jojo out of her name. Mm-hmm. And we go back to when Jojo attacked Mabusi in season 2.
Yes.
In Sun City, right? And so we kind of have those things working in the background of Mabusi's remorse.
Yeah.
And she kind of feels like, dude, I accepted your apology. You did worse to me.
Exactly.
Then call me this thing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this?
Mabusi has beautiful hands and beautiful nail beds. I did find them distracting as she's talking with her hands. I'm just going to be honest. Is that wrong?
No.
She has beautiful hands. I think that Mabusi understands that she's too marginal in this group to not apologize for something like this. And she should, right? Like, it's not a... It should be acknowledged. It should be apologized for. I don't think she should be punished for so long for it. But I think there is an element to Mabusi's apology that is acknowledging, Gubam, if I don't take care of this, then I can't exist in this group. And Mabusi really wants to be in this group.
Yeah.
Even though I do not actually think Mabusi is Housewives material.
I also don't think so. Yeah. I think she's a friend of the show. And I think it's fine.
At the very best, but it's... I don't know, man. You still have to be fabulous, even when you're a friend of the show, right? No. Let's think about it. Like, let's think about what made... Like, and I'm not saying Mabusi is not beautiful, doesn't have her thing, but what is aspirational about Mabusi, right? Oh, are we going to... Let's...
I don't know. I just don't want to say it.
I'm thinking about, like... What am I interested in Mabusi? Like what am I like? Oh, I don't want to keep up with Mabusi. I don't know what I'm looking forward to seeing.
But wouldn't you say that in general, Real Housewives of Durban, a large majority of the cast is actually not aspirational? You know, like unfortunately, the South African girls, except
let's talk about the core girls though. The core girls,
okay, yes, but Real Housewives of the Afrikaans girls? What are the names?
I forgot the names.
What are the Afrikaans? Real Housewives of Pretoria? That is
of course,
aspirational.
But that's higher echelon, right?
Okay, but
there are levels.
Those Afrikaans girls are rich.
Okay, fine.
You know?
Okay.
And so, like, to me, that's the only franchise that we have in South Africa that does the thing.
Yeah.
You know, they are.
But that's not. See, for me, it's so sure. That's great. Now you're distracting me with another franchise, and I want to stay here. The core girls who are in the show have, a bit of personal wealth.
Okay.
Whether questionable or not, they either are married to someone wealthy or have some sort of claim to fame. Mabusi is I like Mabusi. I like Mabusi.
That's not a question.
Right? It's not a question, and she's a great personality. Mm-hmm. But it's actually interesting. I don't, like, for instance, when I think about, like, who are the friends of the notorious one being Marlo? Like, Marlo had her own personality and style and stuff, and it doesn't even have to be about wealth. But, like, what can Mabusi give us something when she's just on her own? You know? Like, it's, I'm never like, oh, I miss Mabusi.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Let me stop being a casting agent or director. So, yes, my point was that...
She needs to apologize.
Yes, she does need to apologize, although I think she's groveling a little bit more than I like. I don't think she needs to grovel that much, but the power dynamic, doesn't favor her.
Yeah.
So I understand how she's just like...
Yeah. And then later in episode 10, she apologizes.
Yeah, of course.
And it's sweet.
Yeah.
And
while she's eating her chicken bone.
Love that for her. I wrote here... I hope this fashion line Lee is pursuing is not giving she by Sheree. Is it worth likening to Sheree. These are my notes. These are notes that I wrote a week ago before episode 10 came out.
Okay.
And then what happened?
It was a fashion show with no fashions.
A fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. That is what happened. Okay?
Ooh-wee.
And it's like sort of meet up with Anne to be like, hey, I'm discussing my clothes. And then just wanting to be
And
hateful.
guys, merch doesn't have to be a fashion line.
Guys.
She's cornering herself with this thing. Like, you are selling hoodies, crew necks, V-necks,
joggers.
in
spring,
and
July.
leggings. That's spring, summer,
September.
It's okay. You can just be like, merch dropped.
Yeah.
You know, at best, Annie, can you consult on, is Shopify?
Exactly.
You know, like, how do it doesn't have to be this big production.
Also, I don't know, but like wearing financially overstretched on your body sounds to me like you are just bringing bad omens to yourself. I personally would never just like on purpose be wearing. I wouldn't use that.
Unless you are really financially overstretched and you need to make money to cover that electric bill.
No.
Because that's a big house and every room was lit. And we'll get there. But okay.
Yeah, I just...
It's not very energy conscious over there.
Yeah.
Are we moving on?
Yes, we are. Do we like Jojo at the art gallery?
I love that storyline. Also, her skin is crazy.
Yeah.
Jojo's skin is like... Yo, Hashem. She knows how to spend that man's money.
Exactly.
Listen.
I didn't know that he was the owner of Bluff Meat or whatever it is. But like, I remember my family buying from that. That's an institution.
Wow.
You know, that is real. Okay. The Durban girls know that is a real institution.
Eating me up?
No, girl, I didn't know this man was like established, entrenched. Anyway,
In the community.
It was a community.
No,
man.
listen. Jojo said, that steak money? I like the art storyline. I think that it's light, but it's real. You know, she has real talent, and I think she's being a little bit too performative about like, I don't need the money. We don't need the money.
At all.
But my husband insists. Okay, sure. I don't know. It's just not worth really that much of my time. I liked it as a filler scene. I think it's a nice little light storyline to have on the side. Yeah. It's probably going to end in like some sort of gallery exhibition or showcase at the end. I like it. It's one of those things. It's like when Ramona Singer of New York Housewives fame put together a skincare line, and no, it's more Sonia.
Okay.
Sonia's end of season. It's like Sonia always had this like tangential storyline that's light. That no one expects anything big to come of, whatever she's cooking that season.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to end in a really fun party. She did something kind of like cabaret, and at the end it's a nice little fun to have side thing that's going to give us an event at the end. Yeah. And I like that.
I think this episode was called The Great Divide, and I think what was useful about it is that it kind of gave us a little bit of insight into where the various beefs
yes
and like contention between various characters were going to be.
Yes, because of the chats that we were having.
And so I think that was helpful. I think every season of every show requires that, actually. Like a episode that we just kind of get our bearings.
Yeah, so because you see, when we spoke about episode 8, we were like, what is going on?
What is going on?
I need to be situated,
Exactly.
And I think that maybe the subtext of that title is also the haves and the have-nots.
Yes, the haves.
And with that, we move on. Why? Okay, so Nonku and Zama by the fireplace.
Nonku's man's name is Salt and Pepper. Where does she keep getting these men? Real Diamond. Salt and Pepper.
Rough Diamond, isn't
Oh, sorry. Rough Diamond.
Although we might need some sort of confirmation that he indeed is a real diamond.
Sorry, have you seen that he's going on like a press tour?
I have.
Effectively.
Mm-hmm. And you said we don't have a blog culture, and here you are.
And then
I got podcast universe.
Sorry though. Okay, we don't have. Look, let me clarify. There are blogs,
of course,
but they don't necessarily exist in the same way that the United States girls blogs.
Oh, 100%.
do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We do have them, but like they are more kind of like fueled by social media for me than like them
100%
being their own blog culture.
They don't, and they also don't make it to the show.
Yes, but we are seeing like an emergence of this kind of podcast, of this kind of like
tea podcast,
salacious news podcast, of which we are not, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Get it together.
Okay, we are 100% girls that just care about stories.
Yes. I don't understand why we need to make If you can't tell by now, then
then you don't know.
Then you know, friend of ours. Yeah, so can I go back to Nonku? Why did she sing? That was so jarring for me. What did she sang a Luther Vandross song?
Exactly.
And I just was so taken aback.
Rose. Come on. Call me from work. That's what she did.
And then she did da 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 da. Oh, okay. That scene, I liked that setup. I liked the fireplace. I liked the girl talk.
Yes.
I don't think we give Nonku enough credit for how many beautiful setups are possible in her home.
Yes. She has a beautiful
She has a beautiful home.
And a very, like, her home is very open for television.
Yes.
It looks, for television.
I mean, it is a reclaimed industrial situation. She hates when we name the real architectural
of the house.
She's like, call it French. She's like, but it's not. But it is a warehouse turned home.
Yes.
And that's not to be, and maybe that's just in the design, but it gives that reclaimed kind of like factory vibe. And so it has like the studio element to it. Like it's wide open. Okay. Fine.
It's fine. That's me agreeing with you. Oh my God. Zama suggests that Slee holds a grudge against Nonku. Do we agree? Do we not?
I think they both hold grudges against each other. I mean, Slee also has said, but I have a chip on my shoulder about the RD situation. There's nothing, you're not breaking news
interesting
here.
about that. But I do think that what has been highlighted this season is like Slee's almost being irrational about her grudge towards Nonku.
Yeah.
Like Nonku was established in season 1 as a very hateful person. Sorry.
Yes, she was. She came just with a bone to pick.
She came with a bone to pick, and then she was awful, disgusting to Ayanda.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when the Nonku fans ride for her, I'm always just like, hey, sorry, can we just go to season 1?
Yeah, and remember.
And just remember. So she's established herself in that role. But we also see her kind of like grow throughout the seasons. Slee, we don't have enough of a backstory yet to like be on her side with how irrational her hatred.
Yeah. I guess.
Or rather, she hasn't given us further insight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, who's also actually entertaining. And I hate to say it, I hope it doesn't sound ridiculous.
but I don't know this man.
People have a shorter memory when someone
is entertaining.
Yeah. It's like Karen Huger. It's like she lies just as much as Amy as Mia or anyone else, but Karen's also funny about it. It's like Slee is heavy, baby.
Yeah.
So, and I can't understand her family structure and what's going on. Her drama is messy.
Her drama is a lot. I mean, the fact that she's trying to do a ritual for her kids, but the father is not necessarily being party to that. I think
and can we park there when we go there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about what Zama says is when Zama was breaking down. Okay, so Zama's breaking down what Amy said about Maria writing
friends.
Yes. And it's one thing to be like, that was inappropriate and it was a reach and it's like, ugh, right? It's another to list all of these ramifications, you call them, about people being married, children, people's sexuality and them being called out, I guess. I was like, what is the real harm of that comment? You are stretching into and I was... In that moment for me, I started to see that gang, which is the Nonku, Zama, Jojo, and Maria gang, kind of construct this moral high ground for themselves as a way to win. And so I checked out because I was like, let's let's be hurt, but let's talk about real things.
Sure.
What's real?
Sure.
So then, because then it makes it possible for us to get over this.
Sure. I agree with you. I don't understand, firstly, why it was brought up in the first case. Like, I think you can have very touchy-feeling relationships with your friends.
Yeah, that make other people uncomfortable. That's fine.
That's fine.
That
Like,
other people think are inappropriate because you're married. That's fine.
like whatever.
Whatever.
You know, I think
that's-
you can do that.
Yeah.
But I see how these girls, remember last week we were talking about that, these girls are actually like older, right?
Yes.
And in terms of like generation wise, like those girls usually take things a little bit further than they need to be, right? Like those girls take things a lot more seriously than they need to be, because let's be realistic, Maria's child is not going to get bullied by the fact that
Let's
like
really-
she, like her mom, or rather his mom,
sat
was
on a gay man's lap.
like, honestly, I don't understand like when the bully is coming, like being like, yo.
But they love to weaponize this like fabricated, imaginary bully situation.
Exactly. It's giving me when Dorit gave back the dog, and apparently the child was getting death threats because she gave back the dog.
Can't even read, girl.
I was like, girl,
Girl.
you know. And so like housewives do have this
that.
thing
Yeah,
of
yeah.
over exaggerating the
It's definitely an MO.
the the consequences of whatever thing that has been
Yes.
said.
Yes.
And I think that just is weird.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
weird. But I do think it's that generation.
Okay.
Like, I think that's a very
It
particular
certainly is. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But now it's become a storyline. Now it's become like a central part of it, because later on in episode 10, we get...
Just waste of my time.
I just don't understand why we're getting a lie detector. What do you mean?
Can we get there when we get there? If you're gonna really let me...
Sorry, it just... That is what gets
me. And then Maria and Slee, the big showdown.
Tell me more. Sorry, this episode was like
Chaotic,
but it was also just like there was just too many narrative threads.
definitely a commission of inquiry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It set up the groundwork, but it didn't quite do it in a cohesive like narrative structure. So there's parts of it that I
wanted to ask you
thought was useful, but there were other parts of it that I was just like
we're dragging here.
It's
yeah.
Yes.
Do you think Nongu is competing with Slee on any level?
I don't.
Do you think Slee is competing with Nongu? On any
Yes,
level?
100%.
In what way?
100%.
That came out of my gut.
Okay, I obviously, but that was close, honey. I'm sorry. Firstly, imagine me wearing financially overstretched of an ugly jogger. No way. No way. No way.
You think she's competing fashion-wise
No,
with
I
just
think
being the it girl?
I think I think after Nonku said the things that she said last year, she wants to prove that in her own right, she's able to establish a business in the forefront of public life,
Yes.
right? And has developed this
FO.
she's literally called
This
it
FO
FO line, right? And I think she wants to show that she's got the house, and she's the beauty queen, and she's the pretty queen, and she's dressed to the nines. And it's like just weird, because when she makes that comment about Nonku wearing D&G, you're just like, and so what? Like, that's what the girls wear.
Yeah. She is kind of bitter.
She's very bitter.
And I hate to say it because I'm Team Slee, but goddamn.
No, I don't. You
have no teams?
I have no team. Nonku or Slee, I think, are equally terrible. Nonku's actually worse, but this season, Slee's
I think
a little bit
I
bad.
like Slee's personality. I can't account for who she is on this show. But Slee is someone that I feel like if I met in real life, I would. She's chilled and like I just like her disposition.
I guess.
Uzama said.
Girl, I guess.
Maybe also because I don't remember much of last season. Yebo. So I'm kind of a newborn by
No. I mean, last season she was very likable.
Okay. You're just over her. She overdid the authentic
She's just
thing.
done too much. Sorry.
Yeah.
Also, English came on a
Not,
boat.
yeah.
It came on a
You know,
boat.
and
It's
for
not
the
my mother
Durbaners,
tongue.
We know. But Okay, Zama, like I said, ramifications were it's a reach. But when my queen said, your mom is a dick rider, I died. Because a kid would why would a kid say that to a kid?
That's so
No one
crazy.
called her a dick rider. No one said it's like
that's so crazy. That's so crazy. But you know what? But I think what is interesting though is when like Slee, Angel, Amy, and whoever are having their lunch or whatever thing that they're having, and Angel's like on top of
yes, at the house.
of,
So it was
at the
at,
house.
it was at Slee's house. This is the first time we've seen Slee's house.
Yes. Oh yes, I didn't clock that.
So I think it was different. That room seemed familiar to me though. We might have seen that
Like an
lounge.
Airbnb.
No. Don't do me.
Sorry, when we have our live show, come get Ayanda.
That's insane. So now also
Come get Ayanda directly.
don't, guys. All I said is maybe I've seen it before in a scene. Okay,
You got guts.
I got cut. You've been trying to set traps for me when it comes to that province and that city for the duration of this entire podcast.
Okay, got it. Yes.
But my point is that the house it felt like a bit of a reveal, but I can't be 100% sure that it was. But it's beautiful. She looks good in her dress. Angel looks great. Hi, Bo.
Nothing.
That's
What?
insane.
Sorry, mate.
I'm Team Nongu when you're undercover Team Nongu at this point, and
I'm not.
I'm a
I
journalist.
really am not.
I can real recognize real.
As am I. Okay.
Wait, so the Maria lunch with Slee happens after their get together with Angel.
No. Yes. No. It happens before.
Yeah,
It
so
happens
let's get to the lunch before we get to her house.
Yeah.
Slee's tattoo is distracting.
It is so distracting. I hate it. I hate it so
Because
much.
what is this Caucasian woman? Half lion.
And then we have an anchor here. And
Girl. And we've got this ugly, thick cursive from like 95.
Hate it.
Yeah,
Hate it.
a very distracting tattoo. And she's so intentional about one-arming it.
Exactly.
Maria says, I'm truthful. And I want to know what you think about that.
That she's truthful?
That she says she's truthful.
Is this in relation to her marriage or just in general?
Well, yes. So it's okay. Let me lay it down. Slee says, because Slee's like, what's happening with your husband? And Maria's like, oh, I'm not comfortable talking about it, but we're fine. He's there.
Yeah.
And then Slee's like, okay, but then what you said at Zama's little, Q&A thing, you said, I faked being happy in a marriage. So what's tea? And Maria's like, no, I just want to get ahead of it, because things have been rocky and you girls are going to, catch wind and then try to, get me. And then she goes, because I'm truthful.
Okay. Yeah. I think she thinks she's truthful. I think that was a bit of a something.
A bit of a pouncing cat.
A
jumping lion.
Jumping lion. To Slee and the queens from Sarisha's vibe. Do you
is it a dig about Angel always lying?
Yes, but I don't want to be messy.
Okay.
But do you think it's also a jab at Sarisha and Uncle Viv? Because you know what? We're not a salacious podcast. I'm not gonna carry on that.
We're not.
I'm not gonna carry on.
But the thing is also like because then you're doing the work for Maria, and it's like if you are making that claim, then come
claim
to the front.
Yes,
But overall thoughts about that lunch?
It is what it is. I think Slee a little bit was gaslighting her because she, like those girls, like I said, take these things way too seriously than they need to be. And then when she's like, well, I'm sorry that you kind of felt that like I was being bad to you.
Yeah.
It's not an apology.
Yes, it's not.
By any far stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
And also, I think this misnaming of Maria is so incredibly hateful and rude. Maria says that like once she married her husband, she identified herself as a new person and Chantal was no longer appropriate for her. And so this like this thing of like always calling her Chantal when she's trying to be spicy, I think it's just like hateful.
It's because they have nothing on each other.
Yeah.
They have no real ish on each other.
Yeah.
But I'm so confused. Are they fake friends now?
I think so.
Okay.
Or not really. I don't think they're friends at all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because who really is friends, really, truly, on these shows? But they guess are on good terms.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about the high tea?
Is this Joku and the...
No, this is Amy, Sarisha, and Slee. When Sarisha gets there and she's the only one there.
Isn't that further down? Because I do want to talk about Neil.
Yeah, these scenes are like almost...
Oh, they are concurrent. Yes.
Scenes.
Okay.
I just want to say that going and wearing a ball gown to go to a conference room is crazy business. I'm sorry. I will never. What do you mean? I'm going to a conference room and I'm going to wear a ball gown?
Insane. No. Before that, you know what pissed me off?
Yeah.
Randomly, after whatever scene that is not connected, Amy, with a G, is walking up the street. You push towards her car. She gets in the car, calls a random person we don't know about,
and
talks about a random event that's no longer happening that we never even knew was in
we
the
didn't
works.
even know about this lounge wear.
Guys.
And it's another fashion show with no fashions.
With no fashions.
And like, what is the plan?
That annoyed me.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to take that as enough of an introduction for what is to come for this fake event that 3 people only attend.
That's wild.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Production, we're on your back again. Get that together. Get the stories coherent.
We're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. Let me moisturize my lips.
Slee and Sarisha question Maria's commitment to Joku.
Well, how you gonna be committed to Joku? It's Joku. It's not Majoku.
Yeah. Jokuma? Is that what they're calling it?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I mean, look, we all know that that's an alliance of convenience.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
Not even friendship.
Yeah.
So it's also just us. That question is so redundant to me because everyone's fallen into factions based on.
Hence the Great Divide. Hence the name of the episode.
So the authenticity chats to me is just so played.
I don't know what we're doing by dubbing them the Women's League. I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird.
It also doesn't have enough.
Because no one is funny on this show.
Exactly. It doesn't have enough popular culture,
relevance.
Because if, Kongo gave us a name, she would have given us something that we could have used.
Ms. Hair.
Right? So much.
Yeah.
So much. Even Ayanda. Could have just given us something that we could work with. That could have made us laugh. That could have been like kiki that we could have used. You know what I mean? Just for me, the Real Housewives girls, what they're also there to do is to move the culture forward, right? Like, is to give us further things,
something for the girls to get ready to. Something for the summertime.
Exactly.
I didn't know that would be the bullet that gets you.
That is what gets me. So I'll hit that. And also then, I don't know about bringing in Nonku's sobriety again. I think we've discussed those chats again.
Yeah.
I do not think that having some...
Yeah. They have nothing on one another.
And so it's just...
So they're milking things. Low.
Okay, this scene is running
Juxtaposed,
concurrently to Nonku's indoor picnic.
Yes.
Okay. Where we have Zama, we have Neil, we have Maria, we have Jojo.
And Neil.
And Nonku.
Oh, did you say Neil
yes,
already?
I've already said Neil.
Because I was busy laughing at indoor picnic. Because you know what? The double entendre is there. It's indoor picnic, but it's also a picnic I had to endure.
Okay. All right. Dum.
You hate me. Yeah. Let's talk about the rehash.
Okay, so they recap the weekend to Neil. Nonku tells us that Slee was giving witchcraft vibes, which I think is
she needs to be stopped.
It's just like
your ass, and at this point, HR, step in.
Yeah. We call out Sarisha in this indoor picnic. Mm-hmm. We are saying that Sarisha is a fake person.
Yes, which is not
a puppet master. We're basically calling her Lisa Vanderpump.
Yes.
Effectively.
Yeah.
And then we get Neil, who's quite emotional about the inference that Neil and Maria are potentially intimate with each other. And again, I don't know how we got there. I just don't know how we got to the point where we thought they were sleeping
with
each other. That is insanity.
To the point where he had to talk to his partner about it.
And the partner, And then he's like emotional on camera.
He said, I'm just trying to breathe right now. I'm taking a breath right now, girl. And you can see that it's fabricated because they can't decide if they're going to go with the you offended a gay man or we're going to go with the you threatened someone's marriage or a child's safety.
They're just
keep
talking about like, oh, this is a man's sexuality. And like his sexuality is not kind of put into question. Or nothing's taken away from, I don't know. It's just
all
like
Amy was insinuating was, no, not even insinuating. All Amy said was, that is inappropriate for a married woman. And now Amy can believe that. It doesn't even have to be about Neil.
Yeah. At all. It wasn't about Neil. It was like meant to be an attack on Maria. But I guess the stray bullet then hit.
Yeah. And you can tell they had a conversation, a little litlucha together about like, how are we going to milk this for what it's worth? And I know Zama is relieved. Because Zama was in the hot seat.
Yes! Oh my God. She was in the firing line.
Until this happened. And now she gets to fade into the background. And, every now and again just keep yelling. Like, boop, boop. Yeah. You don't even go here. I know Zama's relieved. It's a great opportunity for her to just lay low, but still be involved in the drama. And I think Neil also obviously gets to have a recurring role. I mean, guys, come on.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think, I love the fact that he keeps telling people to just sit there and eat their snacks because that is indeed what we should do.
It really is.
Sit there and eat your snacks.
So are you trying to move to episode 10?
I am.
No.
I am, Queen, because I'm bored. Oh, wait.
You,
Sorry, we've just spent way too much time talking about unnecessary things when the real things.
The real diamond.
The real diamond. The real rough diamond.
Please, first of all, Slee, no healing is going to come from speaking to RD. And you know that. You don't need to heal. You don't need to heal by speaking to RD.
And Slee, Ndile. Don't lie to us and tell us you were summoned.
Out. Thank you.
Queen.
We're supposed to believe he magically reached out.
Queen, no.
Good try, though. I appreciate the trying.
No.
I appreciate the effort.
Stop being a lying liar. I'm so annoyed.
The lies. You know you reached out to RD, girl.
Yeah. I love that she calls him an scapegoat.
She loves calling him an scapegoat.
And I don't know if she means that. Like, I don't know if she's actually being funny or she doesn't know that it's called a scapegoat.
What does it look like to you? What does it
But she says it so often that I'm just like, you know what, this is a camp. This is actually
it's getting camp because it's classic black mom though. I love it. Exactly. If you don't have notes or edits for your mother's English sentence at any point, then are you even mothered by a black woman?
Exactly.
So I enjoy it. It feels like home. Adi, the claims that he's making.
Yeah.
Adi is saying, in fact, he was the one supporting Nonku, helping her finish projects and tenders and whatnot. And then...
out of the goodness of his heart. He wants to emphasize what a good person
he is.
That it was
all from his heart.
Yes. And that he's just a wonderful man.
Yeah. Who, just got. He got. And, of course, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I also don't believe that.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it was a co-scam.
Which Lee clocks.
Yes.
She does go, Nonku probably thought this man was moneyed. And once she realized that actually wasn't the case, she was like, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like RD gave us anything really to work with here. That she can really, I mean... So what are you going to take back to Nonku?
Yeah.
From that?
Yeah.
And if it's not about Nonku, if it's about healing, what's healing about what he just said?
But I think this is Lee also just trying to get in a jab.
Of course it is.
That's
what I'm trying to tease out. It's like, that's what's really at the core of this.
Yeah. Anyway.
And it was a fail. It was a good TV moment. It could have been like choreographed better, but I appreciate her bringing in...
Yes. What has happened in the blogosphere, which I still don't believe we have a blog culture. Anyway, what has happened is that this man is now riding that wave.
Of course.
And he's going on every interview that will have him.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about the fact that Nonku was supposedly meant to get a project of her own.
Yeah.
But then the producers were like, without RD, you're not getting anything.
The producers?
Yes. This is what he's saying. These are his own words.
A spin-off?
Yes, like
okay.
a spin-off.
Projects, you must, we are working with independence
my
here.
bad.
So you need to specify which one is the project.
My bad.
Okay.
And apparently, he is at this point done with the relationship, and he would like to just let bygones be bygones, and then is like, okay, it's fine, sweetie, you know, we can just like fake that we're in a relationship. And then she's like, no. And then she starts like this whole media thing of him having scammed her and lawsuits. And then he goes, well, actually there were no lawsuits, which also we hear in Real Housewives of Durban.
Yes.
And so it's just like all confusing. But there is a part of me that does think that like Nonku, in wanting to evade accountability, tells us that there are lawsuits, so that she doesn't have to talk about it at the reunion.
Yes.
And
she said it's in the court's hands now.
It's in the court's hands, which I think is such an interesting move, given that she put Ayanda on trial in season 1 at that reunion, and thought that she was completely within her rights to do that.
Yeah.
Didn't have any private conversation. But when we need to then have a bit of accountability for the kinds of decisions that she makes, because the whole country effectively said, Nonku, what are you doing? This man is a convicted rapist. And you have children that are potentially in a dangerous situation if this man continues being in your life. And I think she saw that
and was like, how do I spin it?
How do I spin this?
Yeah.
I was actually victimized. And then she says that this man actually used Muti on me. Like, that's such a crazy...
Scapegoat.
Scapegoats. It's so camp. That's such a camp thing to say.
I just live for it. I live for
it. Okay. Episode 10. Let's go.
Angel says, of course, lays down a situation about her mom, which, I have no reason not to believe that, aside from Angel's previous lies. This for me is isolated. I don't think she's lying about her mom. I think she might be leaning into it, but I don't think she's lying about her mother's health. I also don't think so. But for her to say that's the reason for me not being myself.
You know what's my thoughts
thereby.
My thoughts about Angel is that she is in this state where everything is falling apart. And she's just signed on national television. Okay. And she doesn't actually know how to mediate and control that.
Okay.
And everything's slipping away from her. And she's not really in the mindset to actually
be on a show.
To be on a show.
Yeah.
I think she should have waited 2 more years. And she could have been a better character on the show.
Okay.
But it is clear from episode 1 that man was disinterested in her. And we find out that she's then now broken up with this man. And that just is just like, queen.
Yeah.
So it's about that.
Yeah. It's very much Kelsey Grammer and Camille Grammer.
And then we also find, so there's just so much that's happening in her personal life that I don't know that she was ready to actually bring in the public into her life. There's a lot that she needed to figure out. Yeah. There's a part of me that does actually feel for her, because I do think that when you are caught up in like lots that's happening in your life, you don't actually have the capacity to go, whoa, wait.
Yes.
What's up? What's going on? So that's my view.
I do stand the chaos though.
That's happening in her life.
Yes. Because listen, I'm not happy that, health concerns and things and relationships are falling apart. But I think of all the other women who've come into Housewives with their lives in a shambles, and then their arc essentially being them getting it together. I feel like, there's something there. Like it gives her an opportunity to do something, right? And like show us something, show her piecing her life together. Yeah. If only she would be honest about it.
I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she was saying that like Nonku also in season 2 to about season 4. We realized that Nonku actually
doesn't have
it together, is really going through a lot of things and whatever. And she says, do we think they are comparable?
Do we?
I don't think
In what
so.
sense, though?
Like, just was saying, Guti, like, there is the possibility that you can have it not together and the South African
still give
public
a
can
show.
rally
Yes.
behind you.
Behind you. See, another interesting thing, the South African public, I actually don't go online and look at the discourse because I want to have my fresh
Your own-
opinion. Yeah.
okay.
But I'm wondering,
I do.
yes,
Because I'm a journalist.
and you're on the story.
I'm on the story. At
What are the
7.
people saying?
The people don't like... my sense is that the
Wait,
people...
no, hold on. I'm going to do a correspondent. So right now on the line, we have our reporter on everything Real Housewives of Durban, Fezokuhle Mthonti, reporting live from the Twitter streets. She's going to give us some intel on what the opinions are around our girl Angel. Fezzy, the latest.
Hi, thank you, Ayanda. So it does seem that Angel is not getting the kind of feedback that she would like, we presume. She is not having a good time on these Twitter streets. And what it seems like is that the narrative of Liar has taken shape on her story in ways that she's unable to move forward from. And so will she change the way her narrative is going? Tell you now at 7:30. Okay, so I clearly am not a broadcast
Tell
journalist.
you now.
But
That is the question. More with Fezzy at the top of the hour on the... But I guess that story has legs, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm okay with also... We thought Kenya was a WHORE, right? And we were like, like, just, Apollo, he kind of fine.
Yeah.
Like, we were
Yeah.
like, close your legs to
Yeah.
married men,
Yeah.
close your mouth to
Yeah.
married men. And
Yeah.
then, you know, we grew with her. So I don't think it's too late for Angel. Also, audiences are fickle.
sure, yeah, they are. And we see that with Nonku. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
to me, it's always fascinating that people, I don't know, I still hold a personal grudge against Nonku because, like, what do you mean?
Yeah. She said some salacious stuff.
She said such horrendous things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, with not much left on the clock, do you want to do what's another big highlight for episode 10 for you? Well, obviously the dinner. Should we just go straight to that
Let's go to
fashion
that
show without
Without
fashions?
fashions, how dreadful.
How
I just want to
dreadful.
say that congratulations, producer Za. You had a moment with Nonku giving her that church scene song, and I think that was just on the money. It made us all giggle. It reinforced the narrative. It was a bit shady.
Yeah.
And that's all we want. We just want
a
like
bit
some
of fun,
thoughts, a
you
little
know?
bit of fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I love that. I love that too.
Yeah.
Of course, like people know how we feel about the lie detector test. It's bogus. Please don't waste our time.
Just waste-
No one
stop
accused
it.
you of cheating.
Exactly.
Calm down.
Exactly.
The people in the background of that scene, I was like, this is Jameli. This is Jam.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like you've got the contestants sitting in the front and in the background, like in out of focus.
There's a king with glasses who's literally like things move on. I was like, so we just and the woman is literally like
Yes. I'm like, are y'all together? Like, it was so funny to me how blatant
it was so obvious.
those extras were.
But also then I said to Usli, girl, what this tells me is that you hadn't even booked a venue
Yes.
in the first
Oh,
place.
thank
Because
you.
how would you be having a fashion show in Erischu? Girl, no. How dreadful.
Oh, dreadful. Hi, Sana. Sorry, I'm trying to skip over the notes I made about
And then
Sarisha.
Nonku, when she's like, she's so right.
She's right.
so right because
she's right.
if
But she also
I
gave
left
us a
my
wine
house-
tasting without wines. So
No, but she at least had a funny sommelier.
well, wine. She didn't have a sommelier. She had someone.
She did.
She took the Uber driver, put him in a uniform.
And then my king was like, "This is a white wine."
He said, yeah, he
It
said, "This is a white."
Sorry, it's red.
Ooh, asparagus, girl. So let's calm down. That rug in the middle of the room. So much of the show is made in a flat in Midrand.
Exactly. I also want to know what Anne's position is. Like, I don't.
Why don't we even be talking about her?
Why do we keep
Because
indulging her?
I sign her and her wigs.
I don't like it. I don't love
Like,
it.
get away from me with this Apollo. So, what else is going on? Weaponizing the children.
Yes. I mean, we've spoken about this. It's just ridiculous.
Which then corners Amy into an apology.
Yes.
Because if you're going to make it about the attacks, right? If you're going to make that, because everyone was digging at each other in that fight. But if you're going to make it about attacks on families and whatnot, of course you're cornering me into a place where I'm like, okay, of course I wasn't coming for your family or your marriage or your children or Neil's sexuality.
Yeah.
Now I can't speak to what it really was.
Yeah.
I have to now cower and say, I'm sorry, didn't mean to what. And then Maria has the audacity to say she's processing the apology.
Why are you upset with that?
It's just like she's always processing apologies. like
I
she's
don't know.
innocent.
Okay, yes, she's not innocent, but I'm fine with the fact that like you don't have to accept my apology. What you should,
But you were also fake hurt.
What?
So I guess that's what annoys me. It's like you're not really hurt.
well, she was on her Instagram story, with teary eyes the other day, being like, "Okay, well, I've seen enough," and I was like,
guess.
"Okay, queen."
Okay. She's responding to things she's being called.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the
I
floor.
think the girls are correct in saying though that Maria's Jojo was so incredibly hateful to Maria last season. She said things that were so definitively terrible about Maria. Called her botched, called her all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know botched. I get that botched can be hurtful.
No,
but I didn't know it was like
it was very,
targeted.
It was very targeted. She just said some really horrendous things, and I think the girls are right to say, "Hey, Maria, this person that is suddenly your best friend forever has gotten away with murder and hurt you in very tremendous ways.
Yeah.
Can you just potentially see how these other comments?"
Yes.
And I'm not to say that those comments were appropriate or should have been said to her in the first place. I'm just saying I do see why the girls are, kind of like, Maria, stop catastrophizing this other thing when in fact this other
Worse
thing
has
has
been
happened.
said. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still think it's wrong, and I still think she shouldn't have accepted any of those comments being thrown at her. But I kind of hear the girls if I place myself in that generation.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to say I don't all of you,
Whatever
are
y'all
dead to
got
me.
going on over there.
Yeah.
Because that's not my life.
Yeah. It is interesting to me though that Sarisha lies. But do you remember
eyes wide and then you said Sarisha lie.
because like Sarisha also lied last season with Sane. Like Sarisha, I had someone be like, "I'm loving your guys' pod," and then also Sarisha can do no wrong, and I was just like, I don't know, because you're like putting me into a corner, and now at my place of employment, I can't tell the truth. But Sarisha is like human and fallible.
Thank you.
And a housewife?
Yes.
And a housewife personality?
Thank you.
Lies are gonna be
Like, people can be crafty.
but
She's
lies,
gonna be. Yeah.
Lies
are gonna be told.
Are gonna be told.
As a part of the larger craftiness
Yes.
that the show requires.
That's a little bit of the DNA of this thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of why Sarisha gets away with it is because she's the wealthy one.
Yes. Lisa Vanderpump.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you wanna be,
Buddy. With the billionaire's wife.
Thank you.
100%.
who she
She
talks to him like he's her uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's fine. It's
Okay,
fine.
that's fine. Yeah. Let's move on. Oh, wait. Those
I know
kids
you don't
got
wanna touch that.
penthouses?
Girl.
Crazy. For getting a few A's? Crazy. God, when? When will it be me?
I didn't know
Oh,
that really
father.
got to me. I was like,
Oh.
father.
Anyway, what else happens in that dinner?
Neil is so clearly cloud chasing because he was so ready to go toe to toe with Angel, talking about I got this, Kumari, and it's like, you were just emotional 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. What do you think of Angel's reads calling Ununku a blue crusader and all those things? Did we like them? Did it?
Well, also,
get the
is
girls
Nonku
going?
really bragging about a tummy tuck? For me, it was like, this is a played out. I have no dog in that fight. For me, they're stupid. Both sides are stupid. Nonku doesn't look younger than she is
At all.
So, and Angel doesn't look older than she is. It's fine. It's fine. Like, neither of you should be saying anything about
I
each
just
other's looks and
needed
age.
everyone to just be funnier. That is the point
Yeah.
of these shows.
You're
We see some
son.
funny girls. Okay.
My pussy suddenly doesn't see color.
That's a weird thing to say. I think that's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Let's stop saying that.
Let's stop saying that.
Let's
It's
just
not
stop.
true.
Let's
And
just
if
stop.
you didn't see color, then you wouldn't have said anything about her
Exactly.
color.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's it for me.
Yeah. That's it for me too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, girls.
For joining us again. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you feel about this episode. What episodes, rather. We are going to have the reunion in 2 weeks. So that is, we obviously want to be there. So let us know what you would like us to talk about in these episodes. What you'd like us to watch. What you are interested in, what you think is useful about the podcast, what you think we could improve on. We just want to have a chat with you.
And like if you disagree, disagree, guys.
Let's also, let's have a conversation. It was so great to be here again, sister. And we love you, and thank you so much for watching us again.